It's not like this with other people. In 2020, as the world shut down and we were all more distant from each other than ever, a story appeared on our screens. It was called Normal People, but the love story it told was anything but normal. So, how did this seemingly ordinary relationship, starting in a small town in Ireland, become a global phenomenon? How did Marianne and Connell become the most unforgettable lovers of a generation? For millions, these 5 words are so much more than a line from a TV show. They're the summary of a feeling, a memory, of that deep connection we've maybe never had but always craved. Today, we're pulling back the curtain on Normal People. This isn't just a series review. This is the anatomy of a love story, of a generation, and of that desire to be understood that lives inside all of us. If you're ready, let's begin. It was all about timing. Think about it. At a time when we were starved for human touch and intimacy, Normal People served up those very themes in their purest, most unfiltered form. In a world where physical distance was the rule, the show felt like a celebration of privacy and emotional closeness. Adapted from Sally Rooney's best-selling novel of the same name, this production was the work of a dream team. The author herself was on the screenwriting team, ensuring the story's soul was never lost. And in the director's chair was Lenny Abrahamson, known for films like Room, a master at translating characters' inner worlds to the screen. Instead of big Hollywood drama, this team focused on the quiet moments between two people, the unspoken words, and the small gestures. The result? A staggering honesty that pierced right through the viewer's heart. So what made this story so special? The answer is simple: Marianne and Connell. But the real magic began when they started at Trinity College in Dublin. The roles had completely flipped. While Marianne blossomed in her new social circle, Connell, with his working-class background, found himself utterly alone in that elitist environment. When we meet them in high school, the roles are crystal clear. Connell is the popular, handsome athlete. Marianne is the wealthy, intelligent, but disliked and ostracized weird girl. Connell's mother works as a cleaner in Marianne's house, a fact that throws the class difference between them into sharp relief from the very beginning. Their relationship started in secret. Connell was so afraid of losing his status that he pretended not to know the girl he loved in public. This was the first heartbreak of their story, and unfortunately, it wouldn't be the last. The show portrays Connell's struggle with depression and his decision to go to therapy with such honesty. It reminds us what a powerful thing it is for a young man to ask for help. And the performances from Paul Mescal and Daisy Edgar-Jones are simply breathtaking. They aren't acting, they become these characters. There's something you'll notice while watching Normal People. The camera is practically glued to the characters. These extreme close-ups make you feel every glance, every hesitation, every sigh. The directors fill the gaps between dialogues using the characters' body language. And yes, those famous scenes, the sexuality in the show is never gratuitous. On the contrary, it's like a dialogue the characters have when they can't speak to each other. These scenes are less about being erotic and more about showing how vulnerable and fragile two people can be with one another. The fumbling with clothes, the shy smiles, this is love in its rawest, most real form. But this series isn't just a love story. It also says so much about class differences, family trauma, and mental health. Connell, despite his financial struggles, was emotionally rich with the unconditional love he received from his mother. Marianne, on the other hand, lacked everything money couldn't buy: love, affection, and security. She grew up with an abusive brother and a neglectful mother. This trauma caused her to constantly feel worthless and seek out pain in her relationships. The show asks us this: what is true wealth? A summer house in Italy, or a warm home you can take refuge in on a difficult day? The show's cultural impact was so huge that an icon was born from the most unexpected place: Connell's chain. Yes, you heard that right. This simple, silver chain necklace instantly became the internet's most desired object. Instagram accounts were created in its name, gaining tens of thousands of followers. This small detail became a symbol of the character's sensitive masculinity and his working-class roots, and it was the clearest proof of just how deeply the show connected with its audience. And then we come to that ending, the finale that both warmed and shattered our hearts. Connell gets accepted into a writing program in New York, and Marianne encourages him to go. Was it a breakup? Or a moment of growth where they could truly set each other free? This open-ended finale naturally brought the same question to all our minds. Will there be a second season? Although a photo shared by the actors a few months ago raised hopes, it unfortunately turned out not to be a season 2 announcement. As of now, there are no official plans. And maybe that's for the best, because the ending of Normal People was, quite literally, perfect. What makes Normal People unforgettable is that it reminds us how complex, messy, and yet beautiful our own normal lives can be. It showed us that the deepest connections aren't built on grand gestures, but in quiet moments, in a glance, in a touch. Marianne and Connell's story isn't just a love story. It's a timeless portrait of the need to be understood and the power one person has to change another's life forever. And maybe that's why, even as years go by, that whisper will always remain in the back of our minds. It's not like this with other people. What do you think about Normal People? What was the scene that affected you the most? Let's meet in the comments. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.